count on is my iced coffee will happen.
What? 2 shots of what?
It's 3 shots of classic.
3 shots of classic.
It's just a liquid sweetener.
Okay.
And then a little. And I've actually cut back. It used to be a few more shots of classic. So we're.
And you often bring your own cup, I've noticed.
Well, it's.
You're an environmentalist.
Absolutely. Why? Got a few sitting in the office, but yeah.
Good for you.
It's the highlight of your day. This should be included.
Well, I know it starts the day off on a good note. You know that it's kind of like the that first shot of caffeine and jolts you and gets you going. So, but no, excited. Got an interesting game, and we got a bad flying around here, but NCAA's done a really superior thing here, I think, in terms of allowing these hurricane relief games, and it's for such a great cause, and it's impacted so many. And having lived in Florida, having been through 3 of them, I have a tremendous appreciation for what those people are still going through. Having been to Puerto Rico, Orlando Antigua, and our staff has family that live there, so this is really a good thing. It's a great thing for our basketball team at this point, and it's exciting. I think I looked at this as an opportunity not just to get our players under the bright lights and get them in front of fans, but also as an opportunity to go someplace, to be very honest, that we're never going to go during a regular season tilt, and to let other fans see us, to go do that. I've known Jay a long time, and the rules are such that you can't miss class during these, so you're going to stay in a proximity. And this date worked great, and kudos to the people at Eastern and their staff and their athletic department and Jay. They've done a tremendous job of putting this together in a fairly quick manner, but we're excited, and I know there'll be a lot of orange over there, but we're not going to play a regular season game over there most likely, and yet we get the opportunity to take our team over there, play on that court, and we're excited about that.
How did it come about? Who proposed to whom?
I talked to Jay about it. I think it was one thing that we get the secret scrimmages, and when this came about, it was a great opportunity for us. We gain a lot in those secret scrimmages. I'm a huge fan of them. But when this opportunity came about, there was also tremendous excitement on my part to get our guys in uniform, get them in front of a crowd, and I didn't want to do it here. To be honest, I wanted to take care of our fans. I wanted to show our fans, hey, we're going to go to places that this gives us an opportunity. We play in Chicago, so I didn't never really consider that, and that's not a slight to those fans, but go someplace that we're not normally at. So I called Jay, and Jay was all on board and talked to his people, and administratively they put it together in a hurry.
What's been your main takeaways from the 2 secret scrimmages?
We're getting better. I think that's all I look for. I don't look for a whole lot. I think it's all about teaching moments. It's all about film, so you can bring guys in and start making adjustments. I think for this group, it was a first time against a different jersey, and I think it was important for our freshmen to see what a college atmosphere is like. So they're all teaching moments, and that's something that I and our staff can really work on, and then we get to identify tweaks that we need to make. Who does what, how teams react to something we do. So there's so many positives and so many teachable moments that they're really good for us.
Strengths of the team so far? Have you seen anything that they've really picked up on, at least early on?
Yeah, our conditioning has been very, very good. I've been impressed with that. I've been impressed with our depth. I think I think that, to be expected, we've had some inconsistencies, but I think Michael, LaRon have been very, very good, and pretty consistent. as expected, I think, about what we would get from freshmen. We'd get some really good moments and some mistakes, and it's an adjustment, seeing guys that might be quicker, a little stronger, and now they have to make those adjustments in their own mind. But overall, I've been pretty pleased. We've gotten better defensively, which is my biggest concern. Defensive chemistry is the hardest thing to develop, in my opinion, on the basketball court. The old cliche, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So you can't have a weak one out there, and we're getting better at that. But and offensively, we've been able to do some positive things, and guys are buying into the tempo a little bit, and that's been fun.
Will you treat it like a game tomorrow night?
Not totally. I think it would be segments. I think, I'm more concerned with guys getting minutes, guys getting experience, and knowing that we're going to play freshmen. And you may see me work on some different lineups. It's my plan going in. I had a couple lineups that I liked a lot in our last scrimmage. I may look at those a little bit. You may see us play a little smaller. You may see us play all the freshmen together. So you'll see some different things, and but various parts of it, I'm going to try to play more like a game, and let these guys get a little feel for me on the sideline as well.
You added Mark Allstor to make a big immediate impact. Just how do you see him gelling in and kind of fitting in with his group so far? He's
been great. He's been really, really good. And I'll tell you what he's become. He's become an outstanding defender. He's been a guy that is capable because of his size, because of his quickness and athleticism, a guy that can take on the challenge of stopping the other team's best wing player, really 1 through 3 with his quickness. That was not expected. I didn't see that coming. It's been a real positive influence on him. And then I think the improvement offensively from the first to the second scrimmage was natural. I think he's figuring out where he's getting his opportunities, where they're coming. Not putting Mark in spots where he can do what he does, and that's my job. And I've got to do a better job of helping him there on the offensive side.
In that film clip that's out now, where we saw you go to Starbucks, you were not happy with communication, verbal communication, body language, and so forth. Was that just that practice, or is that maybe a little more of a challenge than you thought?
Well, at that moment, it was all of those things in that practice. And I think that, a pretty common theme with basketball teams, quiet teams lose. I say that a lot. And getting young guys to communicate and open their mouths is vital to the success. There's no mind reading in basketball. You have to verbalize it. And the more we talk, the better we're going to become. We're getting better at that. Emotion. You'll find out that our teams play with energy and emotion, and when we try to duplicate that every day. We try to be consistent with that, and that's a challenge. That's my job every day. I go home tired every single day because I try to bring in as a coach to force them to do it, and it has not been a problem. It was that day, so it was addressed that day.
You talked at Media Day about needing leaders to emerge. Has one emerged or multiple yet?
We're getting there. Conflict is hard, and for young people this age to sometimes have to get on a teammate and not just be an encouraging guy, but a guy that has to get after a teammate. We're getting better. I've been really pleased with Michael Finke in that area. Michael's taken on some of that challenge. Tijon has done some of that. Mark Allstor's starting to slide into that, and then Mark Smith. Mark is a natural leader, and his time is going to come. But I think we've got candidates for it. It's something I can't force, but I can keep demanding, and we're getting better.
How much you put on Mark, but right away, just his responsibilities as a freshman?
Probably too much too early, and now I backed it off. I need him to worry about becoming a good basketball player, not afraid to make a mistake. He's got broad shoulders. He can handle a lot, and I can never forget that he's a freshman. And go back and look in the history of great freshman players. There's always a roller coaster. There's some ups and downs, and I need Mark to continue to grow and work, which he's relentless in those areas, and he's going to be just fine.
How do you feel you guys are shaping up on the glass so far?
It's been probably the biggest positive in terms of our two secret scrimmages. As I've been very pleased with what we've done on the glass, and you can't. I will never be satisfied with that. We can score more points on offensive rebounds. We can go harder. Those create a lot of positives for us. Extra possessions are something that I'm very, very big on, and yet we've got a lot more to give coming from our perimeter players. We need Mark Allstork to get more rebounds. We need Mark Smith to get more rebounds. DeMonte has been off the chart. DeMonte's probably overall in practice on the year our leading rebounder. He's just got a tremendous nose and knack for the ball. So, Tijon, Trent, those guys all have to do a better job at chasing down rebounds. When they get the ball, that starts our break. So, but for the most part, we've been pretty good there.
The scrimmages are maybe more of a controlled environment than you'll see in games. I feel like that's a good way to get these freshmen.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so excited. So excited for tomorrow. Just the vibe, the whole atmosphere of it, the crowd, the media timeouts. Today in practice, we're going to coach how to stand for the national anthem. We're going to coach how to sit for a timeout. We're going to coach how do we make a substitution and make sure we get the lineup things right. Those are little things, but they're really important, and you don't get those. Just little subtle things you don't get in a scrimmage. So we'll have a lot of firsts tomorrow, and it's new for our coaches, getting matchups and so on and so forth handled the right way. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and this game's going to be a great help to us in that.
How have you done with fouls and getting to the free throw line, and your opponents getting to the free throw line?
We will probably be one of the top teams in the country if you took our secret scrimmages and fouls. I think we're adjusting to how to play the smart way. Simple things. We committed 4 or 5 fouls in the backcourt after the other team secured a rebound. Those are things that we can't do. We can't make those mistakes. We've gotten to the foul line a lot. We've been a good free throw shooting team, knock on wood, in our scrimmages. We didn't shoot free throws in the first one, but in the last one we did, and we were good. You'll find out free throws are a big part of what we do. When we're aggressive, we're getting to the foul line a lot. I'd like to see us 30 to 35, 40 times a game at the foul line. In turn, I know we're going to commit some fouls. We just can't commit the silly ones.
Coach, how has Tijon looked after missing some time there?
Like he's missed some time. Really, he's been he's had his moments. I think again point guards have a hard job. There's a lot of tempo. There's a lot of pace. There's a lot of defensive responsibility, and you just don't miss 13 or 14 practices and jump right back into a new system. And yet he's been really good at times, but he gets better every day. I think he's probably in 5 or 6, 7 straight practices now, so he's getting better as every practice goes.
Any limitations?
No.
Is there anyone who won't play tomorrow?
As of today, before this practice, no.
And you can exceed fouls, and if you want to leave a guy out with 7 fouls.
Yeah, and Jay and I haven't even talked about that. I'll probably try not to do that a whole bunch if I don't have to. I want guys to get some minutes, and yet, I also there's got to be some strategy involved, and we got to figure out some different lineup changes if we do get guys in foul trouble. So Jay and I haven't talked about that, but we'll visit before the game about some of those things.
Coach, how has the learning curve been going for the freshmen? Are they getting into more of a groove now with a week till the first official game?
Yeah, and the thing that everybody has to remember with freshmen, they do it at a different pace. They do it at some guys are completely different. Trent Frazier by far and away had his best practice of the year yesterday. He was off the chart. DeMonte, the game's been easy since the first practice. It's just been easy for him. Mark Smith is a guy that we have and will play at multiple positions, so he's got a lot on his plate. Now he's picked up everything and he's fine. Matisse has had to understand physicality and that kind of thing. Greg has been incredible at times in practice, and yet he's been really inconsistent. And there's a learning curve, and everybody's is different. So overall, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more pleased with the growth that they've shown, and don't be shocked if they all play.
Early signing period this week. Just how do you feel going into it?
Awesome. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
Is there a little chemistry going on the bench too between you coaches? You guys haven't coached in game situations as a group before. Are you kind of choreographing how you're going to do things?
That's going to be that's. I think we met this morning for the first time. Kind of where we'll sit, how I like people on the bench. What I like guys that the coach that has the scout. We divide those up evenly into thirds, and we've prepared a scouting report for this game.
Who did it?
Chin's got it. So we'll have there's some newness going on there with our video coordinator with Patrick Schulte. So there's a lot of firsts, and now we'll sit on a bench and work on that chemistry, and they'll feel off me, so it'll be fun.
What kind of role do you see Kipper filling for you guys this season and with this team?
A big one. Kipper's been good. Kipper's been a guy that we have to have him playing at a very high level. I've challenged Kipper a lot here in this first month of practice. And, he's a guy who can step out and shoot it. He's a guy that can be a dominant rebounder. He's physically strong and gifted. And I got to continue to help Kipper on the defensive end because he can be an elite defender and guard multiple positions. And in lineups we play smaller, he can match fours, and you know what? In a switch, he can maybe match a five. So, we need Kipper to be a big part of what we do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it,
Coach.
Thank you, Coach.